Hi there and welcome to Vote Vero 2010. I'm your host Debbie Carson, online editor for VeroNews.com. Here with me today is Vero Beach City Council candidate Tracy Carroll, who is running for a one-year term seat. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you. Glad to be here this morning.
Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us today.
Of course.
Got a couple questions for you, and the first one has to do with the tax abatement referendum. Vero Beach voters will be going to the polls to decide on whether or not they want to give the city of Vero Beach the power to offer tax incentives for business, either new businesses or existing businesses that are expanding and bringing new jobs to the area, those tax incentives. And we were wondering what your thoughts are on that proposed referendum.
Well, I spent a lot of time with Penny Chandler. I was a graduate of the Indian River County Leadership Class 2, which is a program put on by the Chamber of Commerce. I think it's in its 5th year this year. And in that program, we learned a number of issues that are important to the entire Indian River County, but specifically Vero Beach. I'm the only candidate, in fact, that is a graduate of that program through the Chamber. And one of the issues that's so important is bringing jobs into the city. I've met with the Economic Development group also at the Chamber, and unfortunately, when businesses are looking at moving into Indian River County, they choose not to move into the city of Vero Beach for a number of reasons, including the high cost of the electrical utilities, the high cost of water, the high cost of sewer, but also there's very few incentives to moving into the city. And this tax abatement program may prove just that straw that helps bring the camel into the city of Vero Beach. And we need the businesses because we've lost so many. And unfortunately, with these hard economic times, employers who are looking at relocating their businesses need an incentive, and that's what I hope this tax abatement program will bring to our city, which we need the help.
Fair enough. Next question has to do with the electric utility.
Yes, my pet project.
The question that we have, for years the city of Vero Beach has been transferring money from the electric utility fund to the general fund to help balance the budget, to keep property taxes low, whatever the reasons. If elected to council, is that a practice that you would continue to support, or is that something that you feel needs to be changed and addressed if you are on council?
Well, one of my issues that I've been very involved with is the potential sale of the electrical utility. As chairman of the Operation Clean Sweep initiative, we attempted to get a petition signed by a certain number of voters within the city in order to place on the ballot the requirement that the city sell the utility. Unfortunately, that was unsuccessful, but hopefully with a new council, which we expect to have come November 3rd, we will be able to actively address those issues with FP&L, look at all the concerns, and come up with a financially incentivized program that will be beneficial to all of the residents in terms of selling the electrical utility to FP&L. If that happens, then that will, I believe, be a very good thing for the residents in lowering their electrical bills. Now, the issue of the $6 million transfer has always been with the result of keeping the taxes low. But what most residents don't realize is that whereas their taxes are very low in the city, the savings that they would that would be so beneficial to the residents would be their savings on their electrical utility. If their electrical utility was cut with FP&L rates by 33% and their taxes went up a slight bit, they would be financially incentivized of doing that.
Fair enough, and as I'm sure you're aware, the electric utility tends to garner quite a bit of public discussion and
That's
debate.
right.
What other issues do you feel are important to the citizens of Vero Beach, and what would you do to address those issues?
Two issues I'll bring up. I touched on the water sewer issue a short while ago. Both the Shores customers as well as the South Vero Beach Island customers have brought up the fact that they may be leaving our City of Vero Beach water sewer and irrigation system come 2016 and 2017 when those contracts expire. That discussion's been taking place between those. If those two large groups of customers leave, there's no way water and sewer, as it stands today in the city of Vero Beach, can continue with the rates we have. We will not be able to run the system with that, causing vastly increased rates to all of us city residents, which is of great concern. The issues need to be studied very carefully, and unfortunately, over the last 2 weeks, a 30-year contract with a potential contract with the Shores customers has been rushed through the council, rushed through utilities, and rushed through the budget commission without them having more than 2 or 3 days of looking at the contract, which was simply appalling. And there was also no public input allowed into that discussions. Yet it was passed by the city council, and it's out the door. Absolutely appalling. The second issue that I feel is very important, and that is the revitalization of our waterfront at the 17th Street area especially. If we could be successful in selling the utility, FP&L has already said that they may have no interest in that rusting plant on the river, and if the water and sewer could be regionalized with the county has excess capacity and has no need for the water and sewer at the 17th Street. Can you imagine what it would be like to come over the 17th Street Bridge and see a beautiful park, maybe a small-scale restaurants or facilities with boating and all kind of wonderful things that our children and our families could enjoy on the river instead of an electrical plant and a water sewer? So that's the issues that I feel are very important to the city voters this year. And I hope they support me in my run for city council.
Well, fair enough. Well, those are all the questions that we have for you today. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with us and answer those questions.
Thank you very much for having me here.